That's where they coming from. Same people, same everybody.
Next picture.
All right.
Hey, Part 9 Black say everything in the U.S. the land didn't break up. They broke up your brain into fractals. That's a hell of a way to look at it.
Damn sure is.
Yep, chiefs are designated by most loved, most respected, and no matter what gender they is. All of the islands was already fighting when we got the message to form the barrier with. It also told us about the infiltrators too. But all of the islands was already engaged in the conflict from 1492 to 1700. The islands in South America was already fighting the conquistadors. We didn't know in this part of the land, we didn't know what's going on until we got the message from the other parts of the land. Bakari Maurice Kinsey said they stole us from here. Goddamn right, but we ain't never left, so we always been here.
That's right.
That's why I say we've been here so long. We had to come here before here because we had to make here be a place.
Yeah, that's right. And Baba said it in the Let's Hit the Record Straight book.
Look at what that say. The almost total extinction of the Negroes during the time of the who conquest?
The conquest, Spanish conquest.
And the memories of them. Hold on.
And the most ancient tradition used to believe that the Negroes were the first inhabitants of Mexico. Physically, archaeologist Nicholas Leon, historian general of Mexico, 1919.
Right. So Part 9 Black brought up the Iroquois Confederacy in the Constitution. So this is how they even got a copy of the Constitution to activate the blood of Crispus Attucks. It's from the original Constitution, which was derived from the Iroquois Constitution, which was originally an oral document that the chiefs taught to their sons and daughters so that they can be lawgivers in the land. You knew the rank and the level by how much of the Constitution they could recite orally without having to reference written work. Right? So it's just like making the Constitution into a rap song.
Exactly.
And you remember every part of the song, you can perform that motherfucker now.
That's right. So
but you can't perform none of the song until you can remember the whole song.
To make a lot of sense.
Right. Look at the next picture. And look close now.
Who are those so-called natives who you see on the TV?
Now look at them people in there. This is actually the hieroglyphics out of somewhere in Mexico.
Yeah.
They look Aztec. Miriam's just going over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
These is them how the Amaru people depicted themselves. And they had multiple clans under the title. Right.
Yep. Yep. Black, dark skinned people, because oh yeah, he did put it in there, man.
Okay, so let's read a little bit of this picture as opposed to a little bit of the words. Do you see the four people standing
at the top?
Right. And you see it's people on each side of them.
Yeah.
Okay, now the ones in the middle are the elder lawgivers. See the white robes?
Yeah.
You see the ones on the left and the right don't have white robes.
That's right.
Because they come into the elders to get the law or to be examined for the law. Now, if you look on the left side, you'll see the guy holding up what looked like a writing pad, and then behind him, you got people that look like they playing drums.
Yeah. He holding up a bowl. He might holding up a bowl. Right here on this side where he holding up. He holding up a bowl, and this right here look like some kind of maybe like a bat or some kind of something. And then they got some kind of It could be a fan, like the fans they fan a nigga with.
Or a tambourine or something like that.
Because I used to see my grandma with these in church.
Okay, now these is offerings. They making an offering to the elders above them. Now you notice that the elder above them have on elaborate gear.
Yeah, gold and shit.
Yeah, but he's not a lawgiver. That means so he would be what you call a dignitary that is right on the side of the lawgivers. So he could be like the law enforcer.
Okay.
The other ones can be the court. If you look to the right, they're mostly females up there.
Yeah.
So that could be the court.
And down here too, it's females.
When you get down there, that's all ceremonial.
Uh-huh.
They're going through a ceremony. You see the trumpets on the left, right? And they got different headgears on going around in the pictures. It's a ceremony or a ritual going on.
Yeah. I believe it's like some kind of inauguration or something, like of the pharaoh or the chief, or making somebody like a pharaoh, like they come in to make a decision on this dude being the pharaoh, and they doing like an anointing. Because in ancient Kemet, we used to do the same thing, like when the pharaoh, it's like a what they call it, the Sed festival and all that. So I believe that same culture it's got some similarities, man. You know, with the trumpets, I seen that same thing. But these people definitely niggas. For lack of it, they're definitely dark-skinned beings for sure.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no doubt about it. All right, let's move on.
Tupac's people, man, the whole time. Crazy horse.
ODB, you crazy horse. He even look like that.
Hell no.
Look what it say. Look what it say.
Belong the Mongolians.
What did one in the Bible say?
True native of West Africa, now called American African, meaning the earth, divine name of Mixum. Yeah, the movies they do that, man. They really messing with the kids.
So I'm just tripping on Crazy Horse. That nigga looked just like ODP. He looked more Shinnecock than he did Chippewa Cherokee.
Yeah, Shinnecock, the Massachusetts. Oh, the same. That's really. I think that's really the tribe that I believe. I know you and Mike Tyson from the same tribe. I know that for a fact. Y'all get too much resemblance. And he from that up north too, that same area, like the Massachusetts, like the Old Dirty Bastard tribe. They said that he came from that tribe, Old Dirty Bastard. P-Funk, what's that dude named P-Funk? George Clint. He definitely from that same tribe, the Massachusetts.
ODB, Shinnecock.
Yes, yeah, Shinnecock is the same as Massachusetts. See, like the at first, I don't know if they was called Massachusetts at first or Shinnecock first, but I know that's the same tribe. It's the same.
Somebody said I'm reaching.
Lord loves me. Who we reaching it?
I don't know.
Shit, we ain't gonna reach. This is easy. We ain't got to reach for it. We already, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no reaching. Yeah, but the Shinnecock, like if you go do your research, I already did a tape on it called the Native Americans to Color tape. Well, these beings, they got pushed off their land, just like you saying right now. They got pushed off the land in up in the Maine, New York area.
To do a recovery on the hysterectomy, mastectomy, and the desecration of holy sites. I've done this morning, or I started it this morning, and I got word that the sound had died, and I went back to review the video and to recharge my phone to redo the video. Well, if you watch the first one I did, the video sound clarity was intact until somebody questioned me about being in the ethers. Now, as soon as I told them I was instructed to give a message from the Queen of Heaven and Earth, my sound started to fade. The sound to the video started to fade out. So, I got to revisit it because the information is critical to the women at this time. It's not really information that a man need, but if he want to understand his women, then he probably should know some of it. So I'm tagging the women I had attempted to tag earlier in here because the desecration of the uterus, the removal of the mammary gland, this is historic, and it is very dark, sinister at its core, and the motivators for it is for them to maintain control of the women at all costs. The methodologies vary, but every time they do something to desecrate women, they have to give us a notification. In other words, it has to be able to be discovered by an average person that's looking to discover it. Now, if you're not looking for it, you're not supposed to ever see it, even though it's right there in front of you. So the biggest thing they want to keep us away from now is the knowledge of the importance and the value of women at this time. So I'm gonna just tell y'all what's going on with the desecration of the woman and the desecration of the sacred sites in the attempt for these dark forces to hold on to earth. So I'm gonna do just a couple more of these sisters I gotta get in here because they have to be alerted that I'm doing this particular video. Certain ones definitely have to be offered the opportunity to review the information. And I'm trying to make sure I got all of the ones I'm supposed to have in here. I'm going to do a couple more invites, and then we're going to dive into the subject matter and try to get some kind of recovery going from what they tried to deprive you from earlier. So the woman is a walking miniature of God, Creator God, not ruler God. Man is the walking image of the ruler gods, giving us specific functions, but still different functions. We can do things, but we do different things. We have abilities, and they're not all the same. So we almost down here to the last couple ones that I have to invite in here to understand what's taking place. And we can take it from there and really get on into it. All right. So earlier, I got all the way into talking about when you go and how quick they are to offer you hysterectomy as a solution to a problem that doesn't require such an extreme measure. They are using fear tactics now to compel women to get hysterectomies, mastectomies, and anything they can do to undermine the nature of the feminine and the expression of the divine feminine at the close of the age. So what they're not telling y'all is this is the woman's chance to reclaim her place on earth. If one of these mystics like me get in the temple and find out what's been going on and get the information back to y'all, then we can get rid of all of these police shootings, school shootings, all this thievery and backbiting, oppression. All these things is tied directly to the oppression of the woman. Now, in the last video, I began by bringing to the attention the most sacred site on earth. And the most sacred site on earth, in the last video I told y'all, was the uterus of a woman. And I explained how the uterus is the only entrance into this reality that we in. You can't enter it through a scrotum. You can't enter it through a testicle. You can't enter it through a prostate. You can't enter it through a colon. The only way to get into this life, only way to get into this fight is you got to come through the portal of life that they call the uterus. So this becomes the most sacred site on earth because it is the only place on earth where God and matter hang out together, work together to produce an effect that we call recreation of a being. Now, as long as the woman is unaware of the value of her uterus, she's less likely to resist their offers to remove it for fibroid growths, what they call precancerous growths in cells. The precancerous growths mean that you have a cell that shouldn't be there, but it's not cancer. That's all it means. They tricking y'all to snatch out your organ because of the difficulty in reorienting your feminine nature. It's hard to do. Everybody knows some female that had to be on hormone replacement therapy because her uterus was removed. They're trying to get them at teenagers now. They're working on using hysterectomy as a viable form of birth control now. So they're trying to get mothers to sign off on their daughters getting hysterectomies as early as 12 years old. Be aware. Be informed. Do not be deceived. They don't want your daughter to have her uterus just like they don't want you to have one because they don't want y'all sitting in the room calling God down to earth. And what do I mean by calling God down to earth? The women can call the Queen of Heaven and Earth when they get into a group. And she will orient all of the mitochondria where it is filling the room with a vibration. Now, the reason why no men are allowed, it's several different reasons why the men are not allowed in these groups. Now, we all talk about the sexism and not allowing women to participate in certain rites in religions like Islam and various other religions, but never knowing it's equally as important to restrict men from certain rites that the women go through among themselves. Now, I can take a woman to the side and say, this is the structure. Now, go teach your sisters. But I can't sit in the middle of the group and give them the instructions of what to do, or else my field of energy that vibrates masculine first will offset all of the energy in the room, and it will focus on me, and it will fuck me up. It will ruin my psychological makeup. I will be delirious. I will be in the middle of the streets, jumping up and down like the Joker, giggling. I would not be able to incorporate it if it is done correctly according to the process. I will be too giddy to even be worth a damn. I won't be like insane as in out of touch with reality. I will be so filled and so overwhelmed with the energy at the women sinking that I cannot contain it, and it's going to come out as love potion number 9 effect. I might be fall in love with the tree next door. And then I'll see the bird, then fall in love with the bird, chasing the bird down the street, laughing. I'm insane. But I'm not detached from reality. I'm just overloaded with my mitochondrial is not designed to instantly get that energy direct instantly like that. It has to be buffered through a woman before I can get it. So when you create a grid of women and they start moving the Holy Spirit, as they call it, the Holy Soul, through themselves and generating it up into the higher heavenly realms to bring the healing energy back down to earth, the man will be so overwhelmed with the emotion of love that he cannot contain himself, and you will have to put him in a straitjacket, and he will be he will be worthless. And I've been telling y'all that a lot of women are about to blow some guys' circuits, and it's starting to become more clear how it works. So the women get together. I told y'all about the jumping of uteruses, where you take an elder woman that had a hysterectomy and you bring a girl that has not reached puberty into the circle of women. It's a natural sync. So it doesn't hurt anybody involved. It just allows for the woman that's missing the physical organ to reorient her spiritual or her energetic organ, what they call a phantom organ or phantom limb when something is removed. So you see people talking about they got their arm amputated. Some days they get up and they feel like they're actually using that amputated arm. That's a phantom limb. It's there energetically, but physiologically, 3D fixed position reality, it does not exist. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension is still there. But when they removed the organ, the initial shock disconnected you in the energy grid of your body. This is what they did to Mother Earth when they cut down what they call the Iwas tree in South Africa. So the women form the group, the hive. It's the same thing that the bees do. The queen bee has to regulate the hormones of the tribe. And the female bees, or the ones that are not gender specific to us, but to them they still females. And they are the ones who select the queen. You know, the male don't select the queen. The women select the queen. She has to be able to balance her energy first. Then when she set up the coven, now they got y'all thinking that the witch is this ugly, evil, hideous woman out in the woods cooking in the cauldron pot. That's BS. Don't fall for it, women. The word witch means wise woman. That means that you're not falling for the patriarchal bullshit. You're not going for the games. You understand the problem and the solution, and you're working with your sisters in the coven that they call it. They used to call it a hive, or they used to call it a tribe, but now they call it a coven, so they want to give it a bad name. Tell y'all that anybody that practices voodoo and Wicca is insane and that they are evil. That's crap. Don't fall for it. All of those are tricks. Yes, Angel, the movie Avatar was about specifically the invasion of South Africa and the conquering of the people called Zulu.